dairy capital of the world, Madison, Wisconsin. Hello, everyone. I'm Jerome Monsoon, and joining me here in Cow Country, a man who doesn't move as well as he used to.
You can talk all you want, pal. You can talk till the cows come home. But I'm with a gentleman who is going to show you that he is living proof that the cream always rises to the top. I'm talking about the Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect indeed. We've got action galore, and it's all coming up. Action galore as usual here on Wrestling Challenge, but everybody talking about the Hulkster and the Earthquake, and later in the program on our special report, we'll bring you up to date on what's going on. First appearance here this week on Wrestling Challenge, the Intercontinental Champ, Mr. Perfect, the Hart Foundation in tag team action, Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man, joining us, and a special interview with Ravaging Rick Rude, and also Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Let's go down to ringside.
Scheduled for one fall.
Jam-packed here in Madison, Wisconsin for this Wrestling Challenge. And here's one of the reasons why. First appearance, the newly crowned Intercontinental Champion, Mr. Perfect, along with his perfect manager and my colleague, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Can't make up his mind whether he wants to be a manager, whether he wants to be a commentator. Calls himself a journalist. Give me a break. Juan Bianchi supplying the opposition here this week on Wrestling Challenge. Can't agree with letting Mr. Perfect continue to chew that gum. Although he always gets rid of it before the match starts. Got the gold around his waist. There goes the gum. Kind of unsanitary way of getting rid of it. Went through some tough competition in the elimination in the tournament. Now his name goes down in the record books with some other greats. As Intercontinental Champion, Tito Santana, Pedro Morales,
Just a workout.
Pat Patterson. Just a workout? It's not just a workout. You go in there with that attitude and you'll get beat. Mr. Perfect a little bit upset. Nice reversal by the youngster. Hip lock and a beauty. Ah, how quick right up to that single leg tripping. That'll put you out of commission in a hurry. Doing damage to those lateral collateral ligaments. Oh, excuse me. Didn't even break a sweat yet. Earlier on, we had a chance to talk with Mr. Perfect along with his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan. Here they are.
May I proudly present to you the new and perfect Intercontinental Champion. You are correct, Bobby. And never before has the World Wrestling Federation ever seen such an athlete. And now you have the opportunity to see the perfect Intercontinental Champion.
Sorry I didn't introduce him that way as the perfect Intercontinental Champion. Ah, insulting slap to the face. Oh, got his hand wet. I won't let Heenan touch me when he gets here in the broadcast booth. Nice maneuver, stretch out those hamstrings, those quadriceps.
Now you're going to see a perfect plex.
Now we're going to see the perfect plex. Nobody can deliver it quite like this man can. Here it comes. Beautiful maneuver, nice bridge, got the hands locked. Forget about it. First appearance here on Wrestling Challenge, a successful one. Let's go back and take a look. There's that quick leg trip. Oh, and that knee, and boy, that does not only damage to the knee, but to the ankle as well. And then slaps it on, the perfect plex.
from Coliseum Video, exclusive distributors of WrestleMania 6. This is Special Report. Hello, everyone. I'm Lord Alfred Hayes. Last week on the Superstars of Wrestling, we witnessed an atrocious act of infamy when the diabolical Brother Love had invited dual guests onto his show. Let us view that appalling incident.
The great temperature! He's got a severe case of the sore throat, and that's why he's not in.
Let me tell you something, Jimmy Hart. If you don't get the earthquake out of here right now, you're gonna be the only natural disaster.
Keep your hands off me, you half-bit! You're not the world champion anymore! You don't have the right to put your hands on me! Look at him! Look at the immortal Hulk Hogan now! Look at him! Look at all of it now, baby! You're finished! You're history! You are one step in!
After this devastating and brutal backstabbing attack, Earthquake and his manager, Jimmy Hart, added even more fuel to this evil fire with these comments.
Hulk Hogan, the Earthquake said he was going to get you, and he got you. The Earthquake said he was going to hurt you, and he hurt you. The Earthquake said he was going to put you out of wrestling, and you're out.
Hulk Hogan is gone forever. Hulkamania is dead, and you can thank me for it.
Earthquake and Jimmy Hart are convinced that what they said would happen to Hogan has indeed come true. However, there is another man who holds Hogan in high esteem and has created a bond of loyal devotion. Here is the Hulkster's protege, Tugboat.
I just left the Hulkster, you know, and seen him lying in that bed, all busted up. Man, it's something I've never, ever seen in my entire life. I've never seen the Hulkster like this. You know, and I looked up and looked into his eyes, and that look of anguish, that look of sadness, you know. It wasn't from the physical pain, you know, it was here in his heart and in his head. He feels like he's let us down. Well, you Hulksters out there, man, you know darn well, and I know darn well, that the Hulkster's never let down a person in his life. Whenever any of us needed him, the Hulk's always been there. You felt the charisma, you felt the warmth, you felt the electricity that's Hulkamania. He's always been there. Well, now's the time for us to give back to him what he's given to us all these years. That warmth, that love, that charisma, give it back to him. Put the smile back on his face. Let him know. I'm asking you, please. Let the man know how you feel about him. Let him know that you care.
The medical report on Hulk Hogan is very grave indeed. He has sustained severe bruising, both internally and externally, to the ribs. Psychologically, he is emotionally distraught by the trauma of his helplessness in this devastating attack perpetrated by earthquake. Special report will keep you informed on his condition. For all of you who were so deeply touched, as we were, by the impassioned plea of Tugboat, here is the address to send your Get Well Hulk Hogan letters and best wishes to. Get Well Hulk, Post Office Box 911, Venice, California.
Oh, no one has ever taken a beating like that. Can you imagine? I understand that the Hulkster sustained severely bruised ribs. Not ribbed, but ribs. How many? I don't know. Well, perhaps 7 or 8.
Well, Monsoon, in all the years in this sport, I've seen a lot of people take a beating. I've seen Hulk Hogan take a lot of beatings, but nothing like this. No man that has ever felt the earthquake's natural disaster has ever come back 100%. They're never the same. And I'm going to go on record right now. I'm going to personally make this statement. As far as I'm concerned, and you can see it, Hulk Hogan is finished.
You think so?
I know so.
Well, the earthquake certainly tried to seal the casket on the Hulkster's career. Never seen anyone with that kind of outlook, Brain, to go out there and try to maim someone. You go out there and try to beat an opponent. You don't go out there and try to maim somebody. A mere mortal could never undertake that kind of impact.
That's
but
correct.
Let's face it, Brain, you and I know that the Hulkster is not a mere mortal.
I'm going to go on record again. Hulk Hogan is finished.
That's only your deprived opinion.
I think it's now going to be Quakeomania, pal.
Will you stop?
That's it, world. Take a
Big guy in the ring right now, the Warlord, with his new manager, the Slickster.
World Wrestling
Earlier on, we had a chance to capture these two individuals and have a few words with them. Here they are right now.
Ooh, look at him. He's raring to go. But wait a minute, brother. I want you to save some of that energy for the ring. I know you're ready to go out and kick some behind. But remember, you're on a path that's leading to the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. So everybody, you've been warned.
And that little pipsqueak, Jimmy Hart, probably designed that whole attack.
Well, didn't you see Hogan put his hands on Jimmy Hart? He asked for it.
He asked for it.
He asked for it.
He asked for
and
it.
he got it.
Good thing Vince McMahon was down there. None of them other guys knew what to do.
Hey, you could have had the greatest medical minds in the world. Nothing's going to help Hulk Hogan.
You know, Brain, all these years that Hulk Hogan was the champion of the World Wrestling Federation, all he did was give, and give. Now it's time for the Hulksters to turn around and give some of that back. I know you don't see it that way, but I see it that way.
1, 2, 3. Excuse me. Well, I got to do everything.
Who cares about the 1, 2, 3?
Warlord does. Slick does.
The Warlord.
Well, you seem emotionally upset here.
Hulksters, Hulkamaniacs out there, I'm talking to you. This is the time that you need to reach down deep inside and give back to the Hulkster what he gave you so many times tenfold.
Excuse me. Look at this beautiful move here. Reverses a turnbuckle. Good, violent, vicious clothesline. And look at this power slam, Monsoon. Wipe the tears out of your eyes and watch this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Let's take a look right now at the Bushwhackers doing what they like to do best.
Wow. Yeah. This is bloody lovely. Oh, bloody white man. Oh, God. Bloody lovely. Oh, you want to buy the wine? You want to buy mine? Oh, yeah. Want to buy my man? Oh, boy, you'll take me the wine. You'll take me the wine, man. Give me my wine. Hey, my God. Oh, look at this.
Following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way toward the ring, weighing 248 pounds, and hailing from the Fiji Islands, here is Superfly Jimmy Snuka. And his opponent, weighing 238 pounds and hailing from Chattanooga, Tennessee, here is Ted Wadley.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sean Mooney, along with Lord Alfred Hayes. And Alfred, he hails from the Fiji Islands, and of course, he's a big favorite there. But you can see from the crowd reaction, he is a very big favorite right here in Madison, Wisconsin.
He certainly is. And you know, Sean, I've seen him in action, not only wrestling, which I have seen him do many, many times, but I've also seen this man on the rugby field. He's a great rugby player.
No kidding.
He plays up with the pack. He's terribly fast and very innovative, and of course, he just crunches his opposition.
You can imagine that he would be devastating on a rugby pitch. As devastating as he is in the ring. Pez Watley going after the high flyer. And having some success, Alfred.
He certainly is. Pez Watley is not a man to stand around and wait for the action to come to him. He likes to carry the action to his opponent, but this time he may be ill-advised to do such a thing with Superfly, who has dazzling speed.
Watley holding on to that headlock, comes off the ropes with a body block and drops the Superfly. But his time runs out as the Superfly takes him right off his feet with a chop to the throat.
A beautiful precision on the part of the Superfly there. Just like that, too.
Oh, thrust right to the sternum. And with a headbutt, it's Watley who's down.
Superfly mixing up the attack here, Sean. He's going from the stomach to the head. I believe he's ready to finish his man off.
It always amazes me how easily that the Superfly placed his man up and just slams him to the canvas. Watley goes well over 260, 270 pounds. Superfly up off the top rope. Cleared for takeoff. And Alfred, it is a pinpoint landing. And it doesn't look as though Pistol Pete Watley has a shot at victory. A big win for the Superfly, Jimmy Snuka. And there's the Superfly fan. Incredible victory here. Superfly Jimmy Snuka finishing off Pistol Pez Watley with a dynamic leap from the top rope. And you can hear the crowd reaction. They love the Superfly. We're going to get another look, Alfred.
Yes, look about the way he controls that aerial flight. When he comes down, it's really an amazing facet of his armor. Look at the control he shows there for a most impressive victory of Pistol Pez Watley, the Superfly Jimmy Snuka. 400.
This guy right here.
That gentleman does not like snakes. He doesn't like people. Why would he like snakes?
He doesn't like them whether they're real or otherwise.
His opponent.
Well, he doesn't know.
Plastic.
71 pounds and hailing from Harlem, New York. Here is
Look at this. Oh! Red Tyler, what's he got?
He's got a poisonous snake. That's a tiger. That's a diamondback rattle.
Will you stop? Scared bad news right out of his shoes.
Disqualify him for that.
What for? The bell didn't even ring yet. Oh, look at it, man. It's just a little rubber snake.
Oh, I didn't know that from here. All he's had on his mind lately is snakes because of Jake the Snake. And now this ham and egger pulls a snake out. What's the man supposed to think?
He hasn't been sleeping too well at night, has he?
Well, nobody likes poisonous, deadly snakes.
Well, that's only a little rubber snake. That's not poison.
Well, he didn't know that. You think it's funny?
No, doesn't it?
That's funny.
I never saw a man that was considered to be so big and bad, so afraid of a little sneaky snake.
You don't understand, do you?
No, I don't understand. Would you like to explain it to me?
Yes, I'll be glad to.
You will.
You see, when a man enters the ring with a snake,
Maybe we should have bad news explain it.
maybe.
Here he is right now.
Jake the Snake, you know you a coward and you lack the confidence. That's why you have to bring that slimy snake to the ring. Well, why don't you leave it in the locker room? I'm not afraid of it. But why don't you come and meet me one-on-one, man to man, and I'll destroy you.
Well, first of all, Brain, snakes are not slimy.
I know that.
In fact, I have one right here.
You what?
Well, I had one here.
Don't start that stuff.
It's only a little rubber one.
Yeah, I don't know that, though.
There's that little rubber one that Mr. Tyler brought into the ring with him.
Yeah, look where Mr. Tyler is. He's lowered his snake.
Certainly didn't help him, did it? Here's Mike.
Here is your winner, Bad News Brown.
I know she won't get back in the ring.
Oh, Tyler out again. Hard down to the concrete. Bad News. Look at him.
He still doesn't know if that's a snake or
He
not.
does too.
I can't tell from here. It moved. I saw it move.
He's still afraid of it, and so are you.
You need a Coke or something? I'll be back in a minute.
Now he realizes it's rubber. Now he's stopping it. Give me a break. This guy's paranoid.
Oh, I know what he's doing. That's a message to Jake the Snake right there. Keep your snake at home.
Oh, it's a message that I'm not afraid of rubber snakes. However, the real thing may be a different story.
I'm telling Bad News what you
I
said.
don't care what you tell.
I'm telling.
Well, he covered it up and buried it. Unfortunately, he won't be able to do that with Jake the Snake Roberts, nor Damien.
Look at that poster of Jake the Snake. Snakes wrapped all around him.
We're going to go back and take a look at what went down earlier on.
Now look, that guy thinks he's real cute, right? Tyler thinks he's real cute. You don't see Tyler now, do you?
Well, he took a pretty bad beating. But now let's take you to the event center.
I hate snakes.
There were some definite Heart Foundation fans. Did you see those girls at ringside?
Yes,
I think they were swooning. I think you call that swooning, Alfred.
Yes, they were swooning for the Heart Foundation, not for those chaps just there, Tom Bennett.
Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart, as of late, have been tearing up the competition here in the World Wrestling Federation. And Alfred, I think you know why.
Well, they're very devastating any time they step into the ring, but as you said, of late they really have been tearing their opposition apart. And the obvious answer is that they're sending a message to the holders of that.
Well, he just made that young lady's day, month, year.
Yeah. She'll probably be wearing those when she's a granny. And obviously they're trying to send a message to our matchmakers that they are indeed the logical tag team title contenders.
I think they're trying to send an even clearer message to Axe and Smash of Demolition, to be exact. They believe that they are not only conditioned, but have been working together like a machine, and they are ready to take back the World Wrestling Federation tag team belts.
They are indeed, and look at the way that Anvil is dealing with Tom Stone. My word, a drop kick from the Anvil. Just tremendous stuff by the Hart Foundation.
Well, Alfred, it looks as though Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart are letting their actions speak for themselves, and you've got to think that the tag team champions are watching this tag team very closely. They are, in fact, looking on with us now, and gentlemen, you must agree the Hart Foundation looks very impressive.
Impressive, they're not fighting Demolition, and nobody else impresses us. We're the champions. We make impressions on everybody else.
Impressive! Heart Foundation! I'll show you what's impressive! It's when you take this fist rider and knock your stinking teeth in!
Well, Alfred, I guess they don't exactly agree with
No, if I was you, I'd be very careful, Sean. Extremely careful.
Well, Axe and Smash of Demolition sending a message of their own to the Hart Foundation.
Yes, either they're very touchy or they're very sure of what they can do to the Hart Foundation. And I wouldn't underestimate the Hart Foundation at all, because they have shown us some remarkable assets of late.
Well, Demolition doesn't believe there is a tag team in the World Wrestling Federation who can take their tag team belts. They have captured those belts 3 times, but they have no intention of giving them up to anyone.
No, and that's Tom Bennett now, who's on the receiving end of a lot of attention from both of the Harts, the Hitman and from the Anvil. The Hitman now coming into the ring, and he wants to stir this up even more. There's absolutely no opposition whatsoever from that combination of Bennett and Stone.
Comes down off the second rope with a devastating elbow. And it doesn't look as though Bennett is going to be getting up anytime soon. Unless, of course, Brett helps him, which he does.
You know, the Hart Foundation so effectively take away the offense from the opposing teams. They do it so well, they just completely snuff out their whole attack. And here's that new intensity that we were talking about, tearing their opposition really apart.
And each man takes a turn, pounding away at the hung-up Bennett. And referee Joey Marilla backs the anvil away so that,
How about that?
I guess Bret Hart helped him out.
Yeah, by the hitman. He just unbuckled his foot there. I think they're ready to take this fellow's head off.
Ali is set up for the clothesline. Bret Hart off the ropes there. Slingshots. And a count of 3. As the Hart Foundation takes apart the tag team of Stone and Bennett.
Here are your winners, the Hart Foundation.
Very impressive display here by the Hart Foundation, as Bret the Hitman Hart indicates that he plans to have that belt back around his waist.
Tremendous drop kick there early on in the match. And now look at this side suplex and backbreaker there by Bret Hart. And they do this so well. Nobody does this like the Harts. Look at that clothesline. Bang, crash. Down he goes. A great victory by the Hart Foundation. Watch out, demolition.
Join me in welcoming, along with his manager, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Ravishing Rick Rude.
Well, no wonder he walked out. Forgot that he had to do this interview. You got the right idea, young lady.
I didn't like that introduction, Okerlund.
What do you...
Obviously wants something special. I like his new haircut.
I don't know if I can do that.
You can do it, Chloe.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have been told to introduce this man as the next World Wrestling Federation champion, Ravishing Rick Rude. Mr. Rude.
You know, Okerlund, there's a time to be ravishing, and there is a time to be rude. Tell him what I mean, Bobby.
From this point on, until this man here becomes the new World Wrestling Federation champion, there will be no more rude awakening.
I assume he means the ones after the match.
Expound on that, Bobby Heenan. What do you mean?
It's simple. Until this man, Ravishing Rick Rude here, defeats the Ultimate Warrior and becomes the next World Wrestling Federation champion, there will be no more rude awakenings. Now, ladies, you're going to have to understand something. You're going to have to find a hobby. You're going to have to bear with it for a while. You're going to have to go cold turkey. But remember this, it won't be for long.
Let's reverse roles for just a minute, Okerlund. Let me ask you a question. Who is the only man to ever defeat the Ultimate Warrior? Come on, spit it out, Okerlund.
You!
So, who am I?
Well, you're Rick Rude, of course.
Who am I, Okerlund?
You're the next World Wrestling Federation champion, Ravishing Rick Rude.
That's right. And the time to be rude is right now, Okerlund. And the Ultimate Warrior knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Boy, they really bullied Okerlund. Disgusting down there on the interview platform.
Currently in the
So
ring,
for you, that's a compliment.
49
Yeah.
pounds and hailing from
Boy, you
Brooklyn,
really
New York.
bullied Okerlund
Here
around,
is
didn't you?
the
Easy to do.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Little ball grunt.
And his opponent, weighing 244
Tito
pounds.
Santana, former Intercontinental Champion, on his way down here. Jam Top Madison.
Tito, the man that Mr. Perfect defeated to become Intercontinental Champion. I love it.
Ravishing Rick at one time had that Intercontinental belt, didn't he, Brandon?
Has a different look, don't he?
Certainly does.
You haven't seen
I like his
anything.
haircut.
You wait till you see him move.
Looks a lot thicker, too, in the upper body.
He certainly is. He's a lot more determined. I'm at the happiest stage.
What? Brawler complaining about a hair pull. I didn't see any. Who are you talking to now, Frank?
Somebody wants to know what the address is for Hogan. I said, get out of here.
I'm going to have the address right at the end of this match.
Never don't bug me about it. You know, I'm very upset with Earthquake. I wish there was one of the members of the family that would have done that.
Will you stop?
I still gotta take my hat off to the Quake.
A lot of people very upset at Earthquake. You made a lot of enemies. Believe me.
This is the happiest moment in my career.
Millions of enemies.
Happiest moment of my career. I managed the perfect Intercontinental Champion on the way to becoming the manager of the World Wrestling Federation Champion. And Hogan's not around to do anything about it.
You talk about it like the guy has gone. Like the guy is terminally ill. He's recovering. He's at home. Convalescing and recovering.
You mean old bedpan Hogan?
Will you stop?
Watching TV up on the wall. Getting his food out of bent straws. Weighted on hand and foot by little handy stripers. Wow, what a life.
I guarantee you, Brain, that he's doing a lot of serious suffering while that flying elbow did a number right there on the Brooklyn Brawler.
Flying jalapeno.
Another sensational victory for Tito Santana. Now get that paper and pencil handy because here's the address for all those get well wishes from the Hulkster. It's P.O. Box 911, Venice, California, 90294. Believe me, he's expecting every one of you.
To be getting in even better shape. He must spend an incredible amount of time in the gym.
He does indeed. He's devoted to his career, his profession. He is a very, very intense young man.
Well, this next superstar we are about to see is devoted not only to his wrestling career, but he is devoted to money and the acquiring of. Nice shot of the $1 million belt there, Lord Alfred Hayes. Have you ever gotten a close sighting of that belt?
No, he's never let me anywhere near it. But I've looked at it from afar, and it's certainly a dazzling trophy to have strapped around your waist.
Well, alongside him, his ever-present bodyguard, Virgil. And I do hope Virgil has taken more precautions at protecting that belt. They almost lost it.
Yes, they did indeed. That was an unfortunate incident there that occurred. Unfortunate, of course, for DiBiase.
Now, let's talk a little bit more about this matchup. I think it is a very good one. Paul Roma, one of the most agile and quick superstars in the World Wrestling Federation, as well as being fit.
Yes, he's a youngster, and he's improving every time he steps into the ring. No doubt about it, there's a lot of championship material in Paul Roma, if only he can bring it to fruition.
Well, we often talk about the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, and his money, but he is a tremendous wrestler as well. We've got some matchup going on here in the ring, but at ringside, we've got an entirely different encounter here, and I think it's what everybody liked to see, the WWF action figures. And as you can see, Alfred, that nightstick is just as devastating no matter what size it is.
That looked like fun to me. That was really good. DiBiase in the ring and DiBiase getting clobbered outside the ring. That was tremendous. I like that.
And he is getting clobbered right now by Paul Roma. What a drop kick that was. Do you see the height?
Oh,
but
good
Paul
move.
Roma was not going to be fooled.
Oh, I like that by Roma. Tremendous fast thinking.
Off the top ropes. This could be it for the $1 million man. Oh, man, what a set that would have been.
Oh, that was great moves. Shown to us there by Paul Roma. If only he can keep this up, he can't.
Yes, and a pinpoint elbow there. Right to the throat. Paul Roma. And the $1 million man, Ted DiBiase, has started the lesson. Clothesline.
You know, one thing about Ted DiBiase, all the time he's been with us here in the WWF, he's been rated in that top 5 of contenders for the championship. And my word here is showing us championship form here today. Paul Roma, tremendous young wrestler, but DiBiase, let him run out, let him do his thing, and then just close in on him like a vice.
Well, as I mentioned before, Alfred, we often see that the $1 Million Man is overshadowed by his tactics with his money and all. But you cannot deny he is an incredible athlete in the ring, and he is quite a veteran when it comes to delivering devastating wrestling moves.
He certainly is. That was a nice move there by DiBiase. He makes everything look so easy. He's got the sleeper hold on him there.
$1 Million Dream implanted, and few escaped once it is locked in. And Paul Roma appears to be among them.
Well, Roma's doing very well, quite honestly. He's got a sick neck. He's got tremendous deltoids and trapezius muscles there. And
well, those trapeziuses are melting.
They just ran out.
$1 Million Man Ted DiBiase will get the submission, but let's make it official.
The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Not much to the pleasure of this crowd. Certainly to the pleasure of the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. Doing something extra here for Paul Roma. But you know what, Alfred? He never lets him keep that money.
I believe it's referred to as a C note, is it not? Isn't that not a $100 note? No, he doesn't look at that tremendous power slam that we were talking about before. What
a lineup. The Rockers will be here, along with the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the big guy, our team, the Big Boss Man, also joining us next week, and a special match taking place this week that we'll be bringing you next week, courtesy of Superstars, Nikolai Volkov taking on Boris Zukov. Ravishing Rick Rude will be joining us, and we'll get a special report on the condition of Hulk Hogan as well. So until next week, Gorilla Monsoon for the Brain,